all of that, and we had no audio. We're back now. We got
Damn, that
audio.
was good stuff. Yeah, I know. I heard it cutting out on your song at the end. It kept cutting out. I didn't know what that. I thought that was just ducking, but apparently not.
Weird. Well, now that Walt's done talking dirty,
Hey, everybody. Walt's here. Yeah, I was just laughing at this stuff. It's funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
that intro pretty much sums up how I feel tonight. Just completely out of it.
Yeah, it's been a very energetically unsound week for everyone. Even Michelle, who normally is not as affected sometimes by those things, she was definitely hasn't slept well, waking up. And this is even like last night we were cat free, and still kept waking up and just not feeling right. Everything's just kind of off, hot, sweaty, all that. So it's not just you, sir.
Well, that's
I
good.
think they're microwaving us.
I did just
call
a
it.
quick little search. There's quite a bit of stuff out there about the microwaving us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's just a rabbit hole I don't like going down too much.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, what are you going to
I
do about it?
saw
You know?
exactly.
We're put on a
I don't
tinfoil
remember
hat.
who it was. It may have been Rico. Was it Rico? Somebody in chat this morning was saying, "Yeah, I sometimes think about being targeted, but it's like, why me? Why? I'm not that important." And yeah, you are. That's why. Anybody who's not following their fucking bullshit story and towing their fucking bullshit line, and not just not towing it or not following it, but actually doing everything they can to fucking dismantle it in every way, in every thought, in every breath, yeah, you're important, and you will be targeted. Sorry, I didn't mean to start a topic all excited, but yeah, go ahead. Let's get Zack and Cami in here, man.
I
Shit.
guess. Let's say hello. We already heard Zach speak up. We'll say hello to him, Mr. Zachary Zabala. He's got a little channel here on YouTube's. Good times for all. How you doing, Zach?
Hey there, Josh. Not too bad, actually. Better than you're sounding. Not nearly as tired. I did get a little nap in after I finished a bunch of stuff on the book and got the final draft done this morning. Got about an hour nap in, and then got up and went shopping, and then came home and got the Kindle version done as well.
Nice.
So the third book is all set and ready to go. I'm going to wait a while to publish it. Thinking one a month would be a good.
I thought like you were gonna wait till 2027 to see if we're still around.
Yeah, no, not quite that long, but just, one a month instead of trying to, one a week or one every 2 weeks. That's a little too optimistic, we'll say.
I see you, Austin, in chat saying again, "What if it's the full moon? If it were the full moon, Austin, I would feel this way every month." But
Yeah, the moon is full.
It is full, and I do believe we started hearing about this at the beginning of the month for sure. But it does seem like it was considerably more active in the month of May for people feeling that they're being microwaved in the wee hours of the morning. But I don't discount the possibility of the moon. That bitch does crazy things. Speaking of which, let's say a little Mrs. Cami Knodel. You might recognize her. Sorry, I had to roll right into that one. From her little channel, Aisling717 here on YouTube. Cami, how are you?
I am good. It is a full moon, or just past. We're at 99%, and this is a flower moon. You'd think that would make it gentle. It is our flower moon, full moon this month, and from here it will be passing and getting smaller. And we just hit its peak, so that is good to know. I'll agree. I think people are a little bit. I know my son especially couldn't sleep last night, and the dogs were. Well, Minion has a squeak toy, let's just say a new squeak toy, and he can hit on it constantly for an unbelievable amount of time. But yeah, things are like energy feels sucked out. I don't I haven't been looking at the microwave towers because, again, unless you lock yourself in, what are you going to do? It's a sad place to go. But yeah, Zack, we got so much done today. I got up and I did drive around a lot with Karen, and we either really did get things done or we really didn't, and we really won't know quite yet. So we'll see in a few days if we accomplished anything today. Those days are interesting. I could have gone backwards again. It's possible.
That's what I tell my wife. Sorry, sweetie. You just have to wait a few days to see if I did anything today.
That's right. We just don't quite know yet until we find out how it shakes out. So yeah, it could be good, it could be bad. Got some different leads on things, and yeah, hanging in and doing it. I can't believe it's again Friday night already. And what are we doing tonight? What do we have fun planned?
We've done it, I believe.
What's the party? We've done it?
I think so. I think whatever party we had planned, we have done. Actually, I have no idea. I still think there may have been a slight miscommunication with Lucas. I'm pretty sure Lucas was trying to get on this morning, which would have been the nighttime for him.
I think that's, I think it all got, like, normally IRM'd. So we'll get it right one day. That's basically what I'm going to leave it with him. It's like, when you can get in here, let us know. And it doesn't matter what's happening, just get in here. So, because I know he is a lot busier than your average Aussie.
And if you guys missed it, there was the trivia for charity raised. It was 5,440, I think, this morning, or 39, 5439 this morning when I checked. Don't quote me on that, but that does seem a pretty specific number. But I think that's what it was that they'd raised. I think that was awesome.
It's awesome, and I can't think of anybody that works harder and is putting himself out there, and again with a newborn and another one on the way, and doing so much, supporting supporting everything did. So for everybody that helped out and supported or took part in that, it's amazing, and shows we can come together and really make a difference. He is making a difference in so many different arenas, and our ability to support and help them out makes it possible. It wouldn't be possible without it. And I think, some people think these creators are sitting here raking in, grifting in the money, this and that. It's no, you live hand to mouth. It's not what you want to do if you want to make money. It's not, you have things that you can do to make money. And this is, being a flatter here on YouTube is not one of them. Or in the different things. Like, again, our show that talked about maps last night got demonetized or hit on ad suitability. Again, we talked about a map. It's crazy. It's crazy. This was, our show was suitable for every audience, and every audience should be watching it. So thank you, everybody that supported. It makes a difference. Makes it possible.
Yeah, we don't even try to monetize on this channel anymore.
Holy shit. Melodome says they raised over 20,000 grand in total donations. That's a shit ton. Like $20,000.
Dude,
that's a lot. 20 grand even if you say it.
You are making a difference.
We could start our own rocket company.
That's a real NASA math.
Austin Melodome, you make a difference. You've made a difference in my life. Yeah. You've made a difference in so many people's life when you're doing it, scattering and waiting for different things to connect, taking that relief off, especially when you're dealing with grief or different things. I can't even tell you, but the difference it makes. And again, it's
him and Andrew both, man. Andrew was hemming and hawing this morning, but I'm worried about how I came off, and was I this? And I was like, dude, you've been crushing it. That's why people are responding like they are, because y'all are on fire with it. Don't doubt what you're doing to change anything.
Andrew, you're awesome. I mean, we love what you're doing. We love what you're doing, how you're doing it. Don't doubt yourself. Again, if everybody
plus he throws a ton
did,
of money at that freaking. Liv said the same thing.
Yeah.
He does that too, on top of everything else, and he does so much work. And everybody
throws that money in that thing. Yeah, trying to beat his stuff is like not impossible. Okay. So yeah.
Zach, that was great doing that with you made yourself disappear and come back by changing. Yeah. Melodome shirt, he's wearing it.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I could have sworn I'd won one of those at one point somewhere along one of those trivia for charity shows.
I had mine on, and this is.
You didn't follow up, man. Got to follow up.
This one will get laughed at.
You know,
I had that
now
one
that you
on
say
before
that,
going. And
I seem
I
like
don't
I
think you
got
can
a
do it.
sticker or a pin. I'm sorry, Cami, go. But yeah, I never got that shirt.
No, my Melodon shirt, you can't tell with the lighting in here. I pulled it to wear with this, and then I looked at the color pants I had on, and it was the wrong color. It was like, oops, oh no, I have a station alert. But yeah, I actually did not wear mine today. That's terrible because I wasn't going to change. I just pulled the pants on and everything. It's like, oh, I didn't match that very well. So that was like my Asperger's or something saying, my grand will think that no, the green's not the exact right color in the pants. And so I had to go somewhere else. But I will wear that with a different color pants, probably tomorrow. And we got a station alert saying that probably it's a flower moon tonight.
Smoke them if you got them. It's a flower
Yes.
moon.
It's a flower moon.
That's what I'm talking about. Where you at, Daryl David?
So I had something happen to me at the grocery store today, and I kind of got mixed emotions about it.
Show me on the doll.
All right. Well,
I'm getting to hear this for the first time too because I was out and about with Karen. So do tell what happened at the grocery store.
So I was getting ready. I checked out and everything, and I'm walking out the door, and I look down, and there's somebody's phone in the cart that I was pushing around. Like the phone is right in the little, because it was a short cart. It wasn't a big one. So there's this little like rack where it has 2 cup holders right there and a little spot with bars underneath it, little metal bars. And the phone was sitting right there face down, and I never noticed it the whole time. And as I'm walking out, I noticed it, and I was like, oh, geez, there's a phone here. Whose phone is this? So I turned around, and I was going to go take it back to the customer service area thing up there. And I told the lady, I was like, hey, I just found this phone on my thing. And the guy turned around. He's like, oh, my God, thank God. He's like, I got all the way home and came back up here. And, yeah, he was like, you know, and that made me feel good, you know, giving him back his phone. And he was so grateful. It had all these pictures on it that he wouldn't have been able to blah, 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 the whole story.
Did he confirm? Did he unlock it for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so really
but he
what's
was
his phone?
trying to give me money. He was like, hey,
Oh.
if you just wait here, I'll run home. I was like, no, man. Because at first he opened his wallet. He's like, oh, I don't have any money on me yet. I was like, dude, don't worry about it. I didn't do anything. I found your phone and turned it in. I don't think that's deserving of a reward. That's just what, you know, people should do. Yeah. Now, if I came and changed your tire or something like that, or, you know, okay, you can give me a little tip. But for turning in a phone, and I don't know, he almost couldn't believe that I turned the phone in. He was like shocked. He's like, I can't believe it was somebody turned it in. He's like, that just blew. And I don't know, I kind of got like disheartened just because the way he looked at humanity. You know, like he wasn't expecting to find his phone. And when I did turn up with it, he was just like so overcome with this joy. It was weird. Like he really wasn't expecting the phone at all. And I don't know, that just doesn't, that's a horrible way to kind of look at humanity. I get it. I do get it. But I don't know. I usually don't assume the worst when stuff like that happens. I don't know. It was just weird. Just his whole attitude about it. And then really wanting to give me money. He's like, if you wait here, I can come right back. I'll just run up to the bank. And it's like, no, man. No. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I'm rambling now. But yeah, just his non-ability, not the right word. His lack of faith of mankind.
And then there's the other part of it that is, like you said, that whole overjoyed of just this freaking
Yeah, like I had returned his child or something.
demon, right? This demon device, and you've saved his life with it. And don't get me wrong, there are things on mine I would hate to lose. Pictures, grandbaby, music that I record directly into my phone that's not anywhere else.
People's phone numbers, you don't know them anymore.
You're right, Cami, that is true. Some of them are saved in that magic cloud, but some of them aren't. I've had that experience before where I've tried to switch phones over and not everything went through. So yeah, I definitely, that part too, I didn't even think about that. So that being said, at least twice or 3 times during like us going to estate sales and garage sales, I'll pick up some device. I'll pick up something, album, book, whatever, and go, oh, this seems kind of pricey, so I'll look it up. And if it is overpriced or I'm not interested, I'll usually set it back down and walk on and have set my phone down with it. Or I'm looking through stuff while I'm setting my, whatever, and we'll get all the way in the car to the next house before it hits me. And they go into a panic, Shell and her sister. Oh, God, well, let's go back. I'm like, it'll be fine. Either it'll be there or it won't. Well, no, we need to get over there. It's fine. It will be good. The worst that'll happen is I'll get a new phone from my insurance. I mean, it's not, I'm not panicked. Like, I don't know. I hate him so much, I guess, most of it. Oh, wow. I'm seeing in chat that Brian Evans apparently passed away. Sherry, just put that in.
That's what
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, damn. Our hearts, condolences to the family for sure.
Everything was peaceful, and again, I don't know. Good. I hope, our best. It's always sad no matter what, though.
Yeah. We got thunder. Are the boys tucked up underneath your feet?
They are.
Right now.
They are. They haven't heard it so much that I have the earphones in, so I didn't hear it. And it hangs a little bit on Min's not doing it. My room was thunderdome last night, though, with that vaulted ceiling and all that. We had loud thunder going on last night. It was exciting.
I didn't hear any of it. I slept right through it.
Yeah, it was around like 2 o'clock in the morning. Good.
So I guess the either Congress or Senate, one of those two groups of charlatans, is starting to grill NASA on like, hey, when are you going to the moon? We've been hearing about you going back to the moon for a while now, and we're just wondering, we're throwing lots of money at this Artemis program, and now why aren't we on the moon yet? Why haven't we sent people? They're just really about all the money, and this needs to happen soon. I'm wondering if this is a setup for maybe defunding NASA before the whole thing falls apart and making it all private.
You're looking at the wrong stuff, Zach. What you need to be looking at is you need to be looking at the stories I'm showing you, like the one where the first black astronaut finally made it into the first, like who was the first black astronaut then? He finally made it into space at age 90, even a month older than William Shatner was, to be our second over 90-year-old. And he went with, I think, the original crew from like the 50s or the 60s that they never like made it up. They're getting their shot now. So I think that you should see that like all the right stuff, all of our 90-year-olds that we can send into space and do things like this and not focus about actually going to the moon or that. I mean, we are able to send 90-year-old men out on little plane rides and back in space. So don't look at the moon, Zach. Don't go there. Don't you see what we've done? We can get, we have gotten like astronauts that we weren't able to blast in space when they were at prime age and that. They're now 80s and 90s, and we can shoot them up there because apparently it takes no physical capacity whatsoever. Because I know William Shatner did it at 90. It takes zero physical anything whatsoever now to trying to go to space. Because I remember there used to be G-force, and you needed the right stuff. So now they've taken the right stuff. You don't need anything.
Okay, here we go. I don't know. I don't know if we can play this, actually.
Why not?
6.2 million views 14 years ago. Blue Fox Enterprises. It's guys in the G-Force. Young, strapping, virile, soldiers passing out.
I think this is educational. I mean, I think you should be able to see the people in the Jeep. The right stuff. Remember when we needed the right... Didn't they make a movie about that? Oh. I'm showing my old...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they sure
they
did.
did.
We can show NASA. This says it's NASA G-Force training even.
Oh, I want to picture William Shatner at 90 going through this.
Should I play sound? Keep an eye on the G's up here.
Yeah, and their faces.
Look at that dude. He's having trouble. Yeah, 6 G's, that's no joke. 5 G's is no joke. Dang, look at him. They say that those rocket things do about 3 G's, but it's for like an extended period of time because it's constantly accelerating to try to get up to that speed.
Ooh, that one was she had to lizard out her tongue a little bit.
Yeah, she did. Look at it, not even 2 G's. And the guys are... You're telling me 90-year-olds are doing this? You know why it's so hard? Because when you're doing this, all the blood is rushing to your extremities. And it's not in your chest anymore. So you have to constrict your arms and your legs and flex them really hard to keep all that blood in the center here so you don't pass out.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. But yeah, Papa William in the pit there.
Yeah. I want to see this 90-year-old go and do 3 G's for 10 seconds. Now they're getting serious. Oh, he's gone. He's not there anymore. Oh, he passed out too. 6 G's. Way out. Oh.
But you're wrong. But it was a
Glitching.
life-changing experience for Ed Dwight. He became the oldest person to reach space 5 days ago.
I'm calling shenanigans.
You got your broom handy?
Mm-hmm. Let's get the brooms out.
No, it was a life-changing experience. Ed Dwight becomes the oldest person to reach space while you're showing these reports. With another liftoff for Blue Origin, Ed Dwight has become the oldest person to reach space. He has been waiting for this day for decades. NBC News' Marissa Para has more on what Dwight shared about his life-changing experience. We can watch. They're not going to tell me more. We have to watch that one. I guess that was not a good one to pull into, but I was just pulling into the news stories. Now, it's in the news. I'm reading it. It's on NBC News. You can even pull up the video. Michelle Parra is going to say how his life. It took him decades. He was slated to go decades and decades and decades ago. Not just 1 decade or 2 decades. Or no, he's like over 90 now, and it was no problem because he was a month older when William Shatner did it. It was no problem for William Shatner because we all know what a health fitness guru William is, Captain Kirk, or the Big Head, or Denny Craig. I think I like Denny Craig the best, but no, he's there. You can look up the stories. 5 days ago, the oldest man made it to space, and see what we can do now. We're getting so ridiculous. I'm sorry, we are getting so ridiculous. And this one had the DEI endorsement on it that, like, here's the first flight that was slated to go to space that we canceled, but now, decades later, and we've had people since then, but here, look, we did a good thing. It's just, our news is ridiculous. Hello, Zack. I see you.
Yeah, I'm reading about.
Dwight?
No, who do you think are like some of the top athletes who have to deal with stuff like this on their bodies?
Well, you have your boxers, of course. As far as G-force and that, again, you're going through a lot. You better have a good, I would take it all around athlete. A strong swimmer would be good with lung capacities and things to deal with it. Decathlon athlete. I mean,
Race car drivers.
I would have said in my childhood Bruce Jenner, but no.
Is a Blue Angel pilot considered an athlete?
Yeah, I would say they're up there. I'm sure.
I mean, our little fighter pilots had to have the right stuff and be in shape. I mean, it was a big deal. I thought they told us it was a big deal. They Top Gun, it was a big deal.
Formula One race car drivers.
I think they
stuff
have to
that
be
their
really
bodies
good
go through.
I bet it's intense.
Getting their head jacked around in that little fucking cockpit of a car.
To the extremely high speed, to like going into a turn and, almost coming to a standstill, that can be stretched up to 6 Gs. And then when they're being pulled against the steering direction, high speed curves, they're going real fast, and some of these things 4 Gs.
Well, so now you know what? Guess what? We can now have 90-year-old race car drivers because none of this no longer matters. NASA said so. Come on.
I mean,
they showed us it doesn't matter anymore, so there is no reason not to get Grandpa out there and be a race car driver because obviously your body condition and none of that has anything. Yeah.
They say just doing 60 laps in one of the Formula One cars, they took the averages of all the tracks, is like lifting 40,000 kilograms.
Piece of cake. Everybody can.
The amount of stress put on their bodies. That's insane.
That is insane.
60 laps can burn up to 3,000 calories, and it can be 60 degrees Celsius under their fireproof overalls.
60 degrees Celsius? So what's that?
Celsius.
60
what's
is
that
120, 150 degrees approximately. Double it and add 30. Get you close.
140 degrees. One driver drives about 2 hours. Jeez. I couldn't do it. Average heartbeat, 140 to 170 beats per minute while they're in those cars. That's like somebody running a marathon. That's insane.
That is insane. Pardon me, jeez.
Yeah, I was listening to somebody talk about these guys, about some of the, as far as doing wear and tear to your body in a long extended period of time. Of course, marathon runners. I mean, that's insane to run that long of a distance. Shout out. Run Boston Bear. Just crazy.
Right.
Dude's running, just practicing running like 15 miles or whatever and flat smacking people while he's doing it.
Yeah, that's craziness. I met a guy at the gym the last couple of weeks who I had noticed being like just nuts. Like, okay, we get it. You can swim, that guy. And like had all this accoutrement, like crazy weird hand flipper spins and some kind of weird deal he would tie to his butt and like it would drag in the water behind him to create resistance. I'm like, this dude must be training for some shit. He is not just here, trying to lose a few inches around the belly. So he and he saw me with my trying to find some. I asked him. I had big pens first, and they weren't working. So when I had my smaller ones, I was asking him where those were that he got, because they're just like, it's almost like having webbed toes. They're crazy. So we got to talking, and that's what he does. Is he does the, what do you call it, where you do the biking and the swimming and the running.
Triathlon.
Triathlon, yeah. So I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy. I can't even imagine. I'm barely making it 3 laps, without. So.
I like when they have to cross country ski and then take it off and shoot. Where they do the shooting on.
Yeah, that's been an Olympic event for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Since ancient Greece.
Skiing.
Skiing and shooting.
So, did the actual first Olympics take place? I've never even looked into that.
I mean,
like, what kind of proof and evidence do we have?
I've seen one, so even if none of the others, I've seen at least one, so that would have taken place, yes.
Where'd you see that?
Well, I guess my uncle saw it. My aunt and uncle saw it. Where they went to go see it, I don't remember.
His much older aunt and uncle.
Now I'm talking like before Hitler
the first
started
one.
it back up.
His much older aunt and uncle.
Even if there's only been one, if the last one was the only one that ever existed, then it was the first one. Then that was the first one.
Right.
There was a first one.
I get you.
All right, Mr. Semantics.
Fuck it, you're right. Let's just define the words as we go. You do yours, I'll do mine, and we'll just see how it works.
Well, yeah, was there a first one before Hitler started it back up to show the German dominance?
Well, that depends. Do you think would the alternative be that Hitler created it whole cloth? And that it's just a big part of the history's lies that he started it back up because it never really existed. It's all just a myth, like magic. Ooh, and Hitler's the one that started it all back up. Ooh, the Thule Society and ooh, the Olympics. Ooh, never really existed, but Hitler really was the first one. There was no first one before Hitler because there was no real Olympians before Hitler. Is that?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Could be, I suppose.
I don't doubt that there were, seeing the buildings and whatnot and all that. I'm sure they had athletes just like we have today.
Yeah, I would say the very nature of humans would sort of necessitate a competition of sorts. Whereas a lot of young men tend to get pretty competitive.
Regardless, looking back at like the architecture and the different things, look at the Taj Mahal, look at different things throughout history and the beauty we have created. We are definitely not in, look at what our art is now. Go and look at modern art. We are not in our, we're not very high up on our game right now. We pat ourselves on the back a lot, but our game is not that high right now. Our music game is not that high as far as the talent of music we're putting out, the talent of art we're putting out, the talent of anything. We're so busy patting ourselves on the back and saying how good we are and how much better than previous generations that we forgot to actually do the work and create and make the beauty. Because again, our skyscrapers and the shit that we're doing will not, and is our designs right now. If you stop and look at them, our downtowns with our glass skyscrapers and the test of time and like they call it falling. Oh, look, falling ice. Falling ice is glass. Again, the design of it is retarded, again, for standing a test of time and the maintenance required. And, you know, it will be there, what will hold up in a few hundred years. I know that they didn't engineer them to last that long, so again, we'll tear them down. But again, what has even the art that stood the test of time? They had sports, they had culture, they had all kinds of things. They were not, again, the way we depict people in the like Middle Ages and Dark Ages and filthy and stinky and da. No, they had really good irrigation. They had like again, you learned the towers on the houses that were everywhere. that they're drawing now, they're drawing them all tall and making them skyscrapers. You can like look at pictures of like your Tartaria retard things where you take drawings of these things that they look like cities of skyscrapers, and you turn back and you look at, they were artist renditions from ruins that were short towers, and the short towers were built in, you know how we have air conditioning? This is just drafting system on running air, so you have natural cooling and heat for your climate. They had smarter designs there. We quit building that in the 1930s is when like we even stopped engineering some of the natural ways to do it. Why would you want to, naturally make your house efficient? How could we charge you for more electricity that way? I mean, again, we make things stupid to charge more and to fall apart. I don't know where I was going on that rampage, but it was with buildings. It came from somewhere and it went nowhere. But yeah, look at
it was good though.
But yeah, the buildings, what they did is amazing. And again, the more I look at it, the more I am amazed by it, and the more function and things that I see in it that again we have intentionally excluded out to make it so we're more attractive. I mean, we don't make things work efficiently, so we do have to heat, air conditioning, the lighting, the structures, and the way we do it. Well, it's by design. So we buy into it. NASA right now, I just saw their story today, but like at least 7 hours ago, they've introduced that like a DEI person is bringing STEM in it and educating to get the children on board with putting the rockets, and that's where they're focused. They have big new announcements. They're making more involving kids learning the science and experiments with going to the moon. They are evil. I don't know what other word to say. You look at the thing on it, it's like, yeah, they know what they're doing, and it makes me more think that, like, we want the children's books, we want a whole different, again, a choice where it's not automatically built into, because children's books, we have so many rockets and things built into them. And the globe earth and that built into it, it's so programmed from such babyhood with the mobiles, and think of the little mobiles we get now. We really need to get more stuff out there. It's so much easier to learn and look at things fresh than to try to unprogram your mind, wipe it clean, and relearn the things again. Our children are our hope. Our only hope.
I believe the children are the future, and that we should treat them well. Let them lead the way.
Damn you. I mean, make it easier. Yeah, I can't even do that. Go ahead, Jess. Go ahead. Keep singing.
No,
I'm muting.
Those were all the words I could remember. That was it.
You did more than I would have been able to. You can name that tune in 4 words.
Speaking of words.
So I...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope. You go right ahead. I got nothing but Wheel of Fortune on the brain.
No, that's why I had to mute up.
So I came across this guy today. He wrote a book called Degeneration. And this was written...
Talking about my degeneration.
Maybe the 1890s, Max Simon Nordau. And this was about the purposeful dumbing down of society that he said was happening back then in the 1890s. I want to find this book and read it. And this is actually about idiocracy and how it's not a new idea, and just how Mike Judge nailed so much of this somehow. It's like, how did he know?
Were causing people.
And I wanted to show something. I don't know if you guys have seen this. So here's idiocracy, right? This is Congress. This is the president addressing Congress. And here's how they act.
But I got a solution.
That's what you said last time, dipshit.
I got a solution. You're a dick.
South Carolina, what's up?
Okay. Now, of course, that's comedy, right? That's just supposed to be funny. Ha ha. There's no way the people of our Congress that have this high decorum and these ethics and these codes of conduct that they hold so high could never fall that low, right? It couldn't
Cat
happen.
fight. Cat fight.
Listen to this. This is Congress. This is what we have in Congress. This is how the discussions and debates take place now.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
order.
please regain order of your committee?
Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down. Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are going to move, and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
You agree to strike your words?
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she's
Chair recognizes-
apologized. No. She's
Okay,
apologized.
hold on. Then after Mr.
What, Cam? Oh, sorry. I thought you said something.
I'm
Perry,
muted.
you
I've been
recognize
totally
that
muted.
Ms. Green
I'm
still
not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
You're
not
nerve-wracking.
apologizing.
Now let's go.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman,
I'm
I make
trying
a motion to strike those
I
words.
don't think that's a
Hold on.
part of the.
It wasn't done yet
Oh.
either. They even went on even more.
They cut a lot of the spice, but no, this is
Yeah.
our Congress in session. Zach knows I watch a lot of it live, and he catches some of the spicy things in the news. It's
It's a joke.
it's a joke, and it's again no decorum, none. So I'm kind of enjoying it in one of the trials. But, sometimes.
Hey, Zach, what was that author's name of that degeneration book?
Oh, let me see. Let me go back real quick and see. Max Simon, Nordau. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get that book and read it because he was writing about this back then. And how many times have we heard people say, to graduate middle school, 8th grade in the 1850s, college students today, college graduates can't pass it. That's insane.
I dropped a link for you in the chat and in the show chat.
I know that again from watching different channels of people across in different countries that do like street talking to people. Again, you can go on the internet. It's really amazing now because you can do like we do interviews asking people things on the streets. You can get where you have people in Russia saying, "What do you think about Americans? How educated do you think they are? Would you rather live here than there?" They do this in all different countries and talk to a whole barrage of people across the board on it. And again, you can put right into it. I don't know where I was going with it, but it's very, very easy to research. As I'm doing that, I'm researching on another page about Max Simon and that book, and that a little bit off the mark on it because I can't resist researching that book, Zack.
I'm getting some background noise.
That's Walter.
Oh, okay.
Is it really?
I'm not
That
sure
usually
why.
doesn't happen.
No.
That's all that crap that happened last night that I still haven't fixed, probably.
Crazy. Well, while we're here,
Yeah, it's still fucked up. I don't even know what to do about it. I've read all kind of stuff, so I'm gonna have to get Paul on the phone.
I'm gonna play this for our viewing audience. You guys here on the call won't be able to see it nor hear it, but you've already seen it and heard it. Some of you multiple times. But I'm just gonna pull this up. I heard this on the radio today, driving home from work. I was a bit shocked that I heard it on my radio today, driving home from work, but it made me chuckle. And I thought you all would get a kick out of this too.
Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares.
Right in the butt?
What? No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think, yeah.
Much better answer.
All right.
Blake gets $1,000.
That one just made me chuckle. Couldn't hardly believe it.
I mean, did he really believe that they would put that on Wheel of Fortune? This isn't like HBO Wheel of Fortune.
Right. Not safe for work week.
Oh, and there have been some bad ones too. It's fun to go watch the bloopers or whatever.
I was waiting for Sherry to type that. I was so waiting for Sherry to type that.
Yep. Right in the butt.
It is my new password. I love it.
And you'll know you're there because you'll yell out, "This is the best!"
Oh my.
You have Joe Mama in the chat that says
Joe
he was
Mama's
actually
a veteran,
on,
right?
Yeah, he was on Wheel of Fortune back in 1983. Do you have a copy of that show, Joe Mama? I'd love to watch. Did you win?
I'd love to watch that. Did you do good? Right.
Did you do good? How'd you do?
I want to know how hard that wheel is to turn.
I don't think they have to. Do they have to? Yeah, they do have to spin it, I guess. Or
Yeah, of course they do.
well, you're right. They do. I was thinking he did. I don't know. I was a Jeopardy watcher. Wheel was like, I caught it sometimes, but I was like an Alex Trebek junkie back then.
Yeah, we went and watched Jeopardy every day after school in high school with my buddy's great grandma. We'd get ripped and go sit there and hang out with Grandma
Get
Ann.
it, Grandma?
Right. I'm as high as 5 people right now.
Say like the
She
weed
was
we had
so
when I was
cool.
a kid.
She was like 90, and as soon as we'd come in, she'd be like, "You boys want sandwiches or this or that?" Blah, blah, blah. Most of us would just say, "No, we're not that hungry." Blah 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 blah. Sometimes she'd make everybody eat, but yeah.
Give us about an hour, Grandma, and then we're going to want everything in the kitchen.
She was funny. Every day we did that. Jeopardy, 3:30.
Smoking out with Grandma watching Jeopardy.
No, we smoked out before we got there. His whole family was real anti-marijuana. But they didn't mind us going over there and getting lit every weekend, you know? I guess they'd rather us doing it there than out on the streets. But they would drink with us. You know, it was like just one big party over there half the time. Probably kept us out of a lot of trouble. But yeah, it just seemed a little inappropriate sometimes. Me and my buddy's mom matching shots of Bacardi 151. And then me outside blowing fireballs and her cheering me on.
Wow, who was Fireballs?
Shut up.
Like the local rodeo clown or something.
Joe Mama is still in the bedroom set that he won on Wheel of Fortune. He said back then you won, you got to go shopping, like backstage. You won points to go shopping. Now I guess they give you cash for things like that. But I guess if I'm understanding what he's saying, you went shopping with your points. Now it's cash.
This may even be more epic. Wes Effie was apparently in the Jerry Springer audience talking shit to guests on a few occasions. That's crazy, man.
Rose
Man,
was
I
on
never
Price is
went.
Right.
I was right up or right down the road from Jerry Springer. You know, it was like 35 miles right down the road. Here in the U.S., that's right down the road. But yeah, it was just up in Chicago. I could have taken a. I never went. Should have.
Look at all those prizes. One, look at that sea of blue.
Really,
yeah,
would
we're all big fans of Jorge Cervantes here, the sea of green guy. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, Jerry Springer. Is that still on the air somewhere? It's got to be. I bet they just run it 24/7 on some channel.
I heard he had some major regrets with what he did with his life there at the end.
Why? What happened? I don't even know what happened to Jerry.
He had a horrible shit show that just totally degenerated all of fucking society. And then as he was dying on his deathbed, I think he was coming to the realization of what he has done to society with his simple little show.
Yeah, because to be honest, the world was a lot different before Jerry Springer.
Yep.
That was like almost the start of reality TV right there. I mean, they were already doing, well, I don't know. What came first?
What about Howard Stern? And when did Howard Stern come on the scene? And
Oh, yeah, Howard Stern's a piece of shit. And then he's all a big sellout now.
Now that's true. I could watch Private Parts, Howard Stern's movie called The Private Parts, multiple times, and have multiple times. It's a great story.
I haven't seen it, really. I have not. I've never been a fan of him. I always thought he was pretty repulsive. But if you don't like him, would you find it a good movie? Or
I don't like him, though I did like him. And yeah, as far even as movies go, Private Parts is a really good movie.
Yeah, I liked Howard Stern back in the day.
So being a DJ in that era, it definitely, I did pay attention for a minute, but it just got tedious, man. Fucking tedious.
And then that spawned a whole bunch of stuff, Man Cow and all the other crazy ones.
BTLS.com. Bubba the Love Sponge.
I forget what Man Cow did, but it was like the end of him. Was it? No, because he was still on after his nervous breakdown on the air that was so fake. Do you remember Man Cow? I think he was syndicated nationwide. He was out of Chicago.
No, I'm just...
He had some crazy guy that would go around town doing just crazy shit. And they'd have it like live, audio live. It was kind of like Jackass, but you couldn't see anything. You would just hear it. Yeah, Man Cow's Morning Madhouse, it was called. But that was a spinoff of Howard Stern, you know. But no, now it's Congress. Now.
Send a prayer for Piney's chicken. Great butt. Sorry to hear that, man. Going through some egg-bound situation.
Uh-oh.
not necessary, boys.
That sounds like some excited dog toenails right there.
Yeah, that was some tippy-tippy taps right there now.
Yeah, it was me coming in back in the house. And they were like, oh, there he is, there he is, there he is. I know, you guys are so handsome. Good boys. Oh, man. So, yeah, it's just pretty much like one big show out there anymore. Well, probably has been for a really, really long time, but the more I'm done watching these Senate and congressional, and it's just a show. Nobody gets held accountable for anything, not for what they say or this or that. It's just like, oh, yeah. I mean, they're saying the exact opposite thing. And when it's all said and done and the hearing's finished and blah, 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 they come to their conclusion. nobody's held responsible for lying. It's like, what is the point of all this stuff?
The hearings really, really, really are exactly like watching a kind of a trial in a way that you don't have the jury leave or anybody go at it. It's just like basically having the trial. You throw shit. You can throw a lot of shit. It gets spicy shit. But there is no jury goes and finds you guilty of that. In other words, you just throw shit. People throw shit back. And nothing happens is right. It's like almost a way for people to air their shit, to go in. The women's gyms, they made really, like, they aired all of their shit. People listened. Nobody got arrested. Nobody got, they're like, yeah, all listeners, everybody. Again, it's like the perfect jury system where you go in, you can say anything. And again, if you hear them talk about NASA or talk about things, they say all the words. NASA's like going through this. When are you going to go to? And we've heard different clips of senators that holding NASA's feet to the fire, and they can do it, and you can take clips out of it. But there's no the hearings. That's where the hearings end, is you get to hear it, and there is no resolution to it. There's not ever you're going. There's not a resolution. They don't resolve. They are a distraction, but an interesting way to see what is going on, and the one that I do in the background sometimes. I'm amused by the clips. Other people put on debate shows and things like that. So I don't know. Just get amused by different things. You're muted, Zack.
I just hate it because other countries see this, and it just
yes, they do, and they
makes
talk
us
about it.
Look so illegitimate and so kangaroo.
But isn't that part of it, though? I mean, that's sort of part of the conditioning and the brainwashing. So citizens from other countries see that. They're like, oh, what the fuck is going on in America? Like, other countries' politicians and other countries' governments, they know better. Right? Because they all know it's one big club. And that they're putting on this fucking act for a reason. But it's the other people that look at that and say, like, dude, do the American citizens not even give a fuck? They just let this shit happen? I mean, nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. They just let their politicians act like this. But what's more fucked up is that it's true. We are letting them act like this. So I guess it's a legitimate beef. I don't know.
Yeah, you look at it and it's like, where do you start? It's like 1,000-head Hydra.
Yeah, from scratch.
Yeah, I just wiped the slate clean.
Whoa. Here on we're not talking about violence. We're not promoting violence here on the show, because we don't promote violence here on the show. Just theoretically, if you could, that would be the way to do it. Is with a clean slate. Start it fresh.
Yeah, sometimes on this show we promote happiness. We have good vibes and that. But tonight we are not doing the good vibes. We are doing that. We are sucked out of energy and feel whiny and want to whine about everything. And we're doing it well. I think we're doing it well. I think we're snarky. When you can't be happy all the time, I think tonight is good tonight as any to meh.
That's right. What's that you were saying, Walt? Just grab a hold of your bush and shake it or something?
Yeah, there you go.
Something like that.
Something similar to that, yeah.
Speaking of that, I think we found a mulberry bush in our backyard.
Sweet.
I saw a mulberry tree.
Here we go.
Did you go around it?
Oh, that would be nice. I want to go around it. That's right. I do want to go around the mulberry bush. So whose house do you go then? Or here we go around the mulberry bush. Josh, can you do mulberry bush? I'm having a hard time pulling the song in. Can you sing for me? You started this, Josh.
Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush.
Oh, wait, that's not how this works.
And then where do we go after we go around it? Was it the grandmother's house we go, or is that? I think I'm
That's a
mixing
whole
my.
different song.
Yeah, I thought
I know.
Wasn't it the time of day? Wasn't it supposed to be done early in the morning?
I'm not sure.
I know Papa Patch.
Or late in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
One of the two.
I can do the Papa Patch song. And I never even knew what a Papa was until I was like at least 50 years old, but I can do the Papa Patch. Thought it was weird
they
that
grow
everybody
to
was
be
singing a
trees,
Papa.
emo.
Morning. Wait.
What was
That's
that?
not the lyrics.
You can make a mulberry a bush or a tree. If you let it go
That's not
long
the
enough.
lyrics.
That's not the lyrics, Zach. I'm going to get the lyrics. You keep on reading that. I'll get the damn lyrics. Go ahead.
Yeah,
So
mulberries
early
are
in the
trees.
morning.
But if you just keep
It's
cropping the
early
top.
in the morning. I thought no cold
There were
frosting.
bushes when I
Sorry,
was a
Zach. I'm
child.
aggravated because they're trying to fucking Mandela me about my fucking childhood again, and I'm not gonna have it. And I took my bears and I took my color. Not having this shit now. Fucking here we go around the mulberry bush. So early in the motherfucking morning, not no frosty, chilly nipples or whatever they're talking about.
So that's how you remember it too, Walter? Early in the morning?
I think early
Absolutely.
in the morning sounds right.
Not on a cold and frosty morning. Bullshit.
Oh, very good. You have
Oh,
it up. Are you
never heard
ready?
of that.
Here we go around the
Never
mulberry
heard
bush.
that.
The mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go around the mulberry bush on a cold and frosty morning.
No,
No
that's not right.
camera.
This is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face on a cold and frosty morning.
So early in the morning.
Yeah, we did so early in the morning. I did not do on a cold and frosty morning. We did so early in the morning. Why is the mulberry bush out on a cold and frosty morning?
Yeah, there ain't no berries there.
There's
on
no
a
berries
cold,
then.
frosted morning.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing?
Mulberries don't grow on bushes, people.
They did when I was a child. We walked by the mulberry bush and did it. You're saying they're trees, but they're
Those
talking.
are brambles. That's not a
What
bush.
were these
Bramble
bushes?
is not a
They'll
bush.
grow to a
Bramble
tree.
is like a vine that grows.
These were like a hedge. It was like a hedge
Yeah.
that produced mulberries.
You
It
can
looked
make
like
a mulberry
looking hedge.
just like that. As long as you keep it short,
Okay,
because
that's what I want.
yeah, that's how we're going to do that one back there. I had one in Indiana, and I would cut the thing down for like 2 years. I just cut it down to the base, and you tried digging it out. And then finally, I just said, okay, you can grow, but I kept it short because it was right next to my compost thing I had. I had 3 6x6 fences that were just 3 of them, and then I had one access to it, and that was facing north. And yeah, that bush right there, I just kept it about the same height as that. I wouldn't let it grow any taller than that, and it bushed out and had mulberries on it. I was like, whoa, I didn't know this was a mulberry, because they had a mulberry tree in the backyard that was cut down.
All right, I was wrong. It's not brambles. I thought it was brambles. That's what I remember it being on.
Yeah, no, people will keep them bush size.
trees.
So
It says trees.
yeah.
I had to
They
make
get
sure I
way
wasn't
up in the
acting
tree,
out. I
and then
was
you
an
can't
ass.
get any of the berries. You can't pick them if you let the tree grow real tall. That's why people will just keep cropping it, and then all the berries are right here.
This
So
is
yeah,
when you
it
ask-
will grow to a tree if you let it. But if you do the work and you keep it nice and short, the mulberries are real easy to get.
And that's real interesting and all. I'm just real curious as to the different ways one might wash his face depending on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Or even the time of day.
Frosty morning. Yeah.
Well,
If it's a cold and frosty morning and you dip your face down in that wash basin too quick,
Oh,
you
there's
might
no
have
way.
a broken fucking nose.
But what if it's a cold and frosty afternoon?
I guess you're not going around the mulberry bush. By the way, when you ask Google, is there a difference between a mulberry tree and a mulberry bush? They say to start with, mulberries grow on trees, not bushes.
Booyaka! No, I'm being stupid. I thought they were on brambles.
They were like, whoever wrote that was like, I thought that was pretty harsh. It's like, what's the difference? Well, there's not. You're just looking at this wrong. Dwarf ever-bearing mulberry bushes. Maybe those are the ones too. I'm trying to remember from my childhood, and again, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's fun. It's funny that I'm putting things together, and I think that's a lot of Mandela's. We were looking at the logical song lyrics on Zack and I were, and I think we did it on Parent. And this was interesting, first of all, because the lyrics are so good to the logical song. But as far as the Mandela, there were a couple of things that I made mistakes of hearing because you weren't staring at the lyrics. They weren't written down anywhere. And one of them really changed how much I like it even better now. And the things I misheard, and now listening to them, I think I misheard, is when they say there are times when all the world's asleep, the questions run too deep for such a simple man. Won't you please tell me what we've learned? I know it sounds absurd. Please tell me who I am. I always thought they said, won't you please tell me what is love? I know it sounds absurd. Please tell me who I am. The song makes better sense, and I like it better with please tell me what we've learned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other one was just missing on the the ending.
I never. Isn't that Supertramp?
Yes, this is Supertramp.
Oh, yeah.
It's an awesome song, and they were gonna not even put it on the album. He had to fight to get that one on the album.
They gave both people credit, but this was Roger Hudgens, and he had to do a bet with Richard Davies for $150. Davis didn't want it on there, and he's like, no, put it on there. And I'll bet you 150 goes to top 10. But it was not a, because it wasn't going after the sound they usually had, but this song, I did it there. But when talking about it there, the song written by Roger Hodgson, you need to know his story. He was very much elite. He grew up in a very, 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 very wealthy family. And here, we'll do it for you there. So when I was young, it seemed like, this is his song. When I was young, it seemed that life was so wonderful, a miracle. Oh, it was beautiful, magical. And all the birds in the trees, well, they'd be singing so happily, oh, joyfully, oh, playfully watching me. His childhood, it's beautiful. They're playfully watching me and playing with them. But then they sent me away to teach me how to be sensible, logical, responsible, practical. And then they showed me a world where I could be so dependable, or clinical, intellectual, cynical. Karen and I were talking about this, and I'm going to agree with her on it, that logical is a good characteristic to when they're matching it. So logical as opposed to cynical, it's where they actually, it's what they teach the other things. And this is where it's going to say, there are times when all the world's asleep, the questions run too deep for such a simple man. What we did, please tell me what we've learned. I know it sounds absurd, but please tell me who I am. I said, now watch what you say. And this is him coming from elite. I said, now watch what you say, or they'll be calling you a radical, a liberal, a fanatical criminal. Or won't you sign up your name? We'd like to feel you're acceptable, respectable, or presentable, a vegetable. We need you to sign up your name. We need to be respectable, presentable, a vegetable. Take it. Yeah, we take it. I mean, that's.
Yeah, when I heard that for the first time.
And then that stank sax solo. Oops,
mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the first time I ever saw the words, and it was a song I already loved. It's one of those catchy ones. But yeah, hearing the words like that, because you know the words, but you don't really know the words. You don't really pay attention to it. It's more just a sound thing most of the time. But this time I actually had the words there to read, and I was like, whoa, this song is amazing.
They say, ooh, because I'm feeling so logical, digital. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, yeah, it's getting unbelievable. Yeah. Putting the logic together in the world, that 1, 2, 3, 5 is how I saw that getting unbelievable. It is his story was when he wrote it too, and again, I don't know, because this is, again, very much a elitist, and it is getting unbelievable. It doesn't, but his story was as he grew up in this thing. He did, after college, not do some music, do stuff with the band, but he did step away from the band and kind of live with his wife in a rather secluded, off the chart way, and made it a point to grow up with his children, not send them away. His thing was he was sent away from when he was 8 years old. He was sent away to a boarding school until he was 18. They sent him away to teach him how to be logical or sensible, cynical. into the thing. But that's what that song was about. It wasn't supposed to make it into the Breakfast in America, but Breakfast in America, you can look at it. It's got in the words and the meanings, so much interest, so much written there again. However you want to look at the words of today's songs that we're reading, and I feel like again we've lost the presence, or we've lost some of what was going on. It used to be me.
Mm-hmm.
This song, I wanted to say it was a perfectly orchestrated. We orchestrated every note, every weird sound you hear, including like a Nintendo Game Boy. If you're hearing that making a beep sound and it sounds familiar, Walt. Every little sound.
That was actually from the Mattel
Yes.
football game. I used to play
Yes,
that game
it was.
on a regular basis, and when I heard that in that fucking song, me and my cousin Quentin used to take turns passing it back and forth. And I'm like, dude, listen, you hear it? You hear it? Fuck yeah.
They were playing it in the background while doing this stuff, and he was being very, very Asperger's and very, very. They were trying to do this. He had to lay out everything perfectly. Every note had to be perfectly orchestrated on this one. It's one of the most orchestrated songs written or played as far as the, rock music genre, where everything is exact, including where he put in the Nintendo Game Boy. On today's society, you're right. Your football sound in there. That definitely was in there very intentionally and layered in where it was on to catch interest. And because it was capturing the time that they were doing it with him, it was capturing that little slice of time that they were into. That's how they were in the background playing it. So you knew that was there and you heard it. A lot of people did that.
Yeah, only for the hours and hours of passing that thing back and forth. Like I said, that was a mainstay.
Did you ever play the baseball one that wasn't really digital? It was mechanical.
It just had those weird little picture things. Yeah,
it would pop up. The ball would come in, and you would have the swing down here, and it was a 2-player game. You could play it 1 player, but it was 2-player game. You had the pitcher that would throw. You could pick ball or strike, and then the batter would have to either swing at the right time or not swing if it was a ball. If you swung at a ball. But we always played you had to throw strikes.
They had some interesting little early attempts at like distracting us with electronical stuff. Man, there was this one thing I got one year for Christmas. It was like a keypad with all these numbers. And it was a sequence on the screen that you had to work out. And I would like just sit there and work every permutation of numbers patterns you could, like over and over and over until I would get that thing worked out. I never would do it like you were supposed to do it. I would just work it out that way. What was that thing called? I'll remember eventually.
There's like a peach ice cream in the chat, and you guys are losing me. No, that was about.
And then who had a Merlin? Anybody here, or am I too old? Anybody? Merlin? Remember Merlin?
Oh
Merlin?
Shit! I found it. No, not a Merlin. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looked like a telephone essentially, like a
right here
telephone with a keypad. There it is. There's the baseball one. Show them the football one we're talking about, the Mattel football.
I'll find it. But yeah, you had to push up right here, and then you would hit the button to swing, and it would move this. This is mechanical right here. This bat right here. And the pitcher, you'd just see a ball. It was kind of digital. It did have. There was some digital stuff right here, and then the ball moving in was digital. But yeah, runners on the bases and stuff. Crazy game. Crazy game. Okay, I'll find that.
Just look at Mattel Football 80s and that'll.
Mattel.
Mattel, I think. It may have 2 E's, but 2 T's, but I'm not 100% sure. There you go.
Oh.
What? Watch out. Johnson might
Metal
get a
foot.
Congo.
There it is. Yep. Played a lot of that one too.
Played the fuck out of that one.
Wow. That's a blast from the past, dude.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now see, this started.
Hey, while you're there, look up Merlin. Everybody that's old like me will remember the Merlin. You could play little songs. It had little like a game 80s.
Give me something else, Merlin.
Merlin game 80s. There it is, 3 or 4 down. There it is.
Never seen one of those.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
old.
it's like I said, I'm old as fuck. 78.
78.
Holy shit, I'm old. That was the shit though. It had like you followed the lights.
I recognize
like
it.
Oh yeah, I figured Cami would remember it.
I
Was
would
this
recognize
kind
it,
of
but
like
I didn't
Simon?
Not that you're old, but it just seemed like it's a very geeky, scientific-y toy. So I figured you knew about it. Like I knew all those kind of things.
Was that kind of like the Simon game?
They had like a Simon game in it. They had music you could do. There was like 4 or 5 different little games you could do with it.
Man.
Mostly
never
I just
seen
sat
it.
and worked out songs with it. Like I would try to figure out little songs. That's what I did with it. You could program the pattern you put in and it would follow it back like a song kind of thing. So yeah, again, I'm old.
So what's your favorite ice cream, Walter? They're talking about it in chat.
Well, that depends on what we're speaking about. So those of you that don't live in Louisiana are not aware of Bluebell ice cream. Now, granted, it may be in other states by now that I don't know about, but I know my brother had to ship some to Oregon for his wife's birthday one time because she had some when she was here, and like, oh my God, went nuts for it. It was like $85 to get a gallon of ice cream over there, shipped to them. So yeah, it was pretty nuts. But it's definitely anything Bluebell bought ice cream, you have me. Even like I don't like shit in my ice cream. I just want ice cream. But even when they put like weird cake pieces or some kind of swirl in it or something, it's always excellent because their base cream they use for everything tastes as close to homemade as ever. There's nothing to compare it to. I don't care about what you think about some kind of Bluebell or some kind of Carvel or it. Nothing is Bluebell. Isn't it interesting how they all end in L? What Brian knows about Bluebell, he was in Biloxi. Yeah, I figured they had it in Mississippi too. Here in the South, Florida, Texas, hell, Austin may know about it over in Florida. I'm not sure. But yeah, Bluebell is an institution here. Now, growing up, my uncle made homemade ice cream. It was homemade ice cream that people would come from miles around for. And I know that's the old country saying, but truly people would come from down the country roads on Sunday afternoons because they know Uncle Quentin would be making at least 5 batches of homemade vanilla ice cream. And sometimes he would make chocolate, but very rarely because his vanilla ice cream was like nectar of the gods. I have the recipe. I make it every now and again, but it is so rich and so just overly rich that it gets like, yeah, it can be a little gut wrenching at times. So I don't make it every time I want to make homemade ice cream. I'll usually use a much lighter recipe. But I mean, it's got like 3 cans of condensed milk in it just to start. And you add all kind of other goodies. Scott's got a, oh no, Sherry's got the spoon. They do have Bluebell in Florida. Anybody who hasn't tried it, I highly recommend it. They have this one called the Great Divide, which is half their milk chocolate and half of their homemade vanilla. They also have a vanilla bean vanilla that's in a brown rimmed container. And then they have the French vanilla. Of all of those, the homemade is the one. They just put out, I can't share that recipe, Ian. I can't. I'd be responsible for putting somebody in the hospital. Like truly, buddies of mine used to come knocking and go like, hey, I got 3 cans. I mean, I got 2 cans of condensed milk. If you have a third one, I'll go get the cream and we can find the sugar. We'll borrow a cup or 3 of sugar. They were wanting that ice cream. Knocking on my door at 3 at night. Hey, bro, we got your ice cream cooler ready?
Okay. That might change the question up just a little bit. So all there is...
No, I'll drop it for you, Ian. I'm sorry.
The generic brand. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
I mean, it's just, to me, I mean, it's got to be just, well, I don't know. I go through phases of I want just chocolate or I want just vanilla. Sometimes I'll throw in a what is it, cosmopolitan? I mean, Neapolitan, to get that extra flavor in there. But I just don't like shit in my ice cream. I don't like chunks of stuff. Like when you start doing peach and strawberries, I like the flavor. Then I get to that piece of something in my ice cream. I don't want shit in my ice cream.
I love mint chocolate chip. That's always been my
See, that was what I used to love growing up. Like, I used to love that when I found it. And then I got to an age where it just wasn't doing it for me. Oh, now you're looking at hometown family stuff. You're going to get shot talking that sketch. Sketchy's looking for the family moonshine recipe. You ain't from around here, are you, boy?
Get out of the holla.
Rocky Road is about the only ice cream with shit in it that I will mess with at all, Joe Nugent, sorry.
You might.
See, it's me,
like
kid. I usually go with either vanilla or chocolate. That's just because there's nothing like that to me. I'll go with some other flavors, but the basic original stuff. Anyway, go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
There's a mint chocolate cookie that Ben and Jerry make. And it's like
I remember trying
soft cookies. It's like a soft, real soft chocolate cookie with this big, thick layer of mint cream going through the middle of it. Oh my goodness, though, it was so good. And they don't. I had it like 2 times, and then you can't find it. Every once in a while, because Ben and Jerry's crazy. But I just get one of those little pints. And yeah, I can't. At the store, they have like 30 different flavors, and I don't know if they just quit making it or what. But yeah, that was probably my favorite ice cream ever. The mint chocolate cookie. What about you, Cam? What's your favorite?
I know I was about to ask her too.
Oh, she might be stepped away from the microphone, actually.
Ironically that you guys are asking this question, because right before the show, I was going to the store to get a few things. Let me show you the new flavor they just put out. I'm doing some advertising. Give me a second.
What about you, Josh? You don't strike me as a plain old vanilla. Well, I figured you were in the garage, so I
was busted. I was in the garage and I got off my ass to come in. I typed it into the chat. Had you just looked, I was telling them in the chat. My favorite as a child was Baskin Robbins Blue Daiquiri.
Oh, I saw that.
Big deal to go to Baskin Robbins and get that daiquiri ice cream. That was like really, really special.
See, our big adventure was Carvel. Like we didn't have Baskins in the area I was in. We had Carvel, and man, when I found out about ice cream sodas, oh my god, going to Carvel to get an ice cream soda was nothing like that. And it had to be the real one that was made with egg cream, which does not have egg in it. Anyway, here's the newest flavor from Bluebell.
What is it?
A&W float. It's a fucking float.
I bet that
in a gallon. Fabulous. I can't wait. It's not even open yet. That'll be after the show. I'll let you guys know.
And well, I'm with you that my favorite is I do like pieces and chunks in my ice cream, but my favorite changes depending on what my mood was. Even as a child, Blue Daiquiri was that, but every now and then I'd have to have that fudge brownie because it had those fudge brownie pieces in it, double fudge brownie or something to light. But it changes. Sometimes
here's what happened with me.
Sometimes fruit, sometimes vanilla. Go ahead.
If it's brownies, I'm down. If it's pieces of cake, I'm down. I can do it. But when it starts getting into like chocolatey things, like chocolate, what's the one?
Like the big hard chunks. Yeah.
Right. I don't really care for that either.
Like literally candy pieces in my. I'm like, if I wanted to eat candy, I'd have a bag of candy in my hand. I wouldn't be eating ice cream. I don't want to get 3 good bites and then suddenly I've got to finish off a Reese's Pieces in my ice cream. That's just too much. And then the chocolate
really like the candy. Most of the stuff
doesn't melt right.
Sweet. Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't mind a little cookie piece or two. And then there's a place here in town in Lafayette that makes these cake shakes. Like they'll put a piece of wedding cake into a fucking milkshake for you. And it was it's awful. Great. It's not over. It was not overly done at all. I thought the same thing till I tried a sip of somebody's, and then it was like, I tried every cake you could think of. But red velvet was good.
I have trouble here.
What's the one? Italian cream cake that has a little coconutty on top. That was excellent.
Oh, I would love that macaroon or something.
That was excellent.
they cook everything like at the Ingles bakeries or things here. They put so much sugar. It's really like it's much sweeter than we had at the grocery store food and things like that. The cookies, like Karen had a sugar cookie over here today. She was like, "You mind if I have one?" It's like, take them all. I can't believe how sweet they make things here. It's hard to find the Norman and ice creams. I don't know, like pieces of strawberry and ice cream, like a strawberry ice cream, like pieces of strawberry make it delicious.
Right. A lot of people in chat throw some crazy stuff around.
Yeah, I do love sherbet
They had
as
this
well.
cinnamon apple crunch on this flight to Australia. That was the best ever. I keep wanting to invent the flavor of ice cream that is that last 3 or 4 bites of apple pie a la mode, where it's just the ice cream juice melted on your saucer of your pie's gone. It's just those couple little scoops of the juice you're going to get with your spoon. And it's got the melted ice cream and the goo from the apple pie, and there's a little crust maybe in there. That, to me, if I could ever talk to the right person at Bluebell, I'm going to make them make that fucking flavor.
Oh, the people in the chat are making me remember an old-time favorite too, mocha.
I know there's all kind of stuff, man.
The combination of coffee and almond and fudge in pieces. That was a good one, mocha almond fudge.
Sherry, I'm
What
not
about
sure.
you, Josh?
Ice cream.
Well,
So I still think the peach ice cream sounds the best tonight. Something like light of sorbet, something refreshing. Again, it depends on your mood.
Of fruit in an ice cream, that's the only one that I'll go, yeah, give me a bowl. Like if somebody's got it and they're offering it somewhere, I'll take that. But like when it gets to strawberry, then you got the little seed pieces on top of it.
Oh, I like that. I love strawberry
Yeah,
pieces.
I'm not down. I like fake strawberry ice cream. I don't want real seedy pieces in
And
there.
I'm the opposite.
I had a bad experience with a strawberry seed though. One time I almost choked with a strawberry seed getting caught on my
That's a tiny seed.
what is it? Your goozle thing back there? Epiglottal. I was choking for like an hour and a half.
Uvula.
Okay, Mr. Biology.
Was this epiglottis? Wasn't this uvula?
It could no, I think it was all the way down in my epiglottis. It may have been on my duodenum. I'm not even sure.
Shut up. I'm going to 6 shell on you.
Anyway, I was choking though, and I couldn't get it loose. I know that.
What about you, Josh?
Yes, Karen. I agree. Orange sherbet also jam. I don't mind any flavor of sherbet, but orange is
I'll
top. Orange,
eat any
then lime, and then I love sherbet. Go, Josh. What you got?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I really did used to like the mint chocolate chip as a kid. And then sort of, I think, just for... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It then changed to strawberry cheesecake ice cream. And that was my shit. Loved me some strawberry cheesecake ice cream, especially if you get some with the graham cracker crust in it. That was always good. And then recently I found that I really liked...
That one. I like some strawberry cheesecake ice cream too, Josh. I forgot about that whole era of ice cream. Yeah, fuck yeah.
But then I found just a nice salted caramel ice cream that I was really enjoying.
I don't think I've tried one of those.
Oh, damn. It's like there, but not too much, you know. It's why I really like the salted
It's
caramel.
hard when they start putting the caramel in the ice cream for me. Sometimes it's got that fakey caramel stuff in it. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's almost like it's chemically burnt or something.
I would accept some of that if I can get it in some real fucking ice cream. That's the
Real
problem
ice
I'm
cream.
having. Is real ice cream's hard to fucking find. I got a whole goddamn aisle, freezer section, full of fucking frozen dairy product and frozen dairy dessert. But fuck me if I can find some god blessed ice cream.
That's the other reason that Bluebell is such a winner, is they use real cream and shit. Yeah, man, like if you take a hairdryer and blow it into a vat of, what is it? What's the one that's so everywhere and everybody? Briars. It'll leave like, it's just this shape that's this weird, like, matrix that the goo was suspended in. It's the most insane. Go watch some videos on it. Briar's ice cream, what it does is they try to melt it with a hairdryer. It's fucking insane. I never bought another box of it after that.
Which is where I am now. I think if I have to, it is going to be I'm with Ted in chat that it's just probably going to be plain vanilla. And only because plain vanilla, you can add shit to it. I have the guilty pleasure of the Magic Shell. Every time I buy ice cream, I have to buy a little bottle of Magic Shell because that's the little Josh in me just loves this Magic Shell. But then it also goes great in like a float. Not just root beer, but Sprite or whatever you want to use for a fucking ice cream float. Because it all works with vanilla. But Sprite's my favorite. I prefer Sprite over root beer probably.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of root beer.
Man.
And by Sprite, I
And
mean
just because I grew up literally hunting out sassafras roots in the forest with my grandma to make sassafras tea, that's when I fell in love with root beer.
Yeah, I'll drink it if that's all there is. I won't, spit it out or anything. But yeah, I've never been a fan of root beer. I'll always pick something else if I have an option.
I was the little kid in 1984 that got to pull up next to the call box at the A&W and get his root beer float served in a little fucking shot glass root beer mug float glass. Like old school A&W.
Got to make me go open up my ice cream. Oh, I know all about it. We had one down the mall from one of the arcades. I would go co-manage every now and again.
You frost me up
at that place.
Tiny little shot glass root beer mug and fill it full of root beer float. Give me a hot dog. I'll be happy.
All right, so Ice Cream Man is coming down the road.
Yeah.
You got like 30 seconds. What do you do? What do you do?
Oh, here's what I do.
I was never about that. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I'm never going to have enough money in my pocket, no matter how much money I have, because that shit's way too fucking expensive. So I'm going to make a break for the house to get my money from my wallet. And then maybe I'll make a break for the truck, because maybe, just maybe, it's not going to be as expensive as I think. I'll be like, no, it's definitely going to be that expensive. Then I'll make for the house. But wait. You might miss them. Maybe you can get something with what you have, and I'll make for the truck. I'm like, no way, you'll never make it with what you have because this is way too fucking expensive. So then I just say, fuck it, that ain't worth it. They pay 30 cents for whatever ice cream you get. They pay 30 cents each. There's some ridiculously stupid ass cheap price because it's all shit ice cream if you want to even consider it ice cream. And then they want to sell it to you for $12 fucking dollars. Get
what?
Bent.
Okay, well, let's go back to 1990 and say the Ice Cream Man's coming down the road. What was your go-to ice cream from the ice cream?
There was a frozen malt thing. It was in a cup. It came with a wooden paddle spoon. It was in a clear cup. It was a cup-shaped cup. It wasn't a cone. It wasn't anything. It was a fucking cup. And it was malt, and it was the fucking best shit ever. Now, over the years, other companies have put some out that attempted to recreate that, and none of them are like the ones we used to get in the late 70s, early 80s. At our lunchroom, they had them in the cooler, and we'd get them from the Ice Cream Man. Once that stopped being a thing, all that crap at the ice cream truck was a joke to me because none of it was good. It was all just gross stuff. I would get a push-up. That would be about it. I did not like the Ice Cream Man stuff. It was all expensive, as you said, Josh, and usually not worth it because it was either weird tasting because it was full of chemically colored crap or, nah.
Right there, Walter. The malt cup was yours. Mine's not on here. What the fuck? Is this non-American or what? I remember a lot of these. These are from the 90s. Maybe I should go back to the 80s.
Yeah, that's one of those fake ones from now. That's not it. The one I'm talking about would have been like 70s. And it was a clear cup. It only had writing on the top little part you peeled off. It didn't even have writing on the outside of the cup itself. I'm talking late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. Here, I can probably find it.
This one, this isn't a very good picture. No,
they don't have it. I figured it'd be too old for anybody to really have.
Here's one. Yeah, this has. See, what is this thing called? Jumbo Jet something? Dude, where's the bomb pop? The American bomb pop. It was red, white, and blue like this, and they just called it a bomb pop. That was my favorite. That was my go-to.
$4.50 here in St. Louis for a bomb pop.
That's fucking insane.
Isn't that fucking insane?
I also like the push pop, like kind of like there was an orange creamsicle that came in a tube. Yeah, right up here, a push up. It's got a Fred Flintstone, but one of those little stick coming out the bottom, peel off the top and just push it up. Had a few frogs. There was one that had this. These might be the ones. The bubble gum, Bubble Bill right here. That's bubble gum. See, I don't remember Super Mario and all this stuff. I must have been in the poor one.
Yeah, that started
back to
happening
the
too.
70s.
That when I'd go get it for the grandkids or for my niece and nephew or whatever, and I'd see all that shit, and I'd be like, really? Oh, come on. So I'm buying a shaped thing that doesn't even look like what it's supposed to look like. That's what I'm paying for.
Superstar, Italian ices, cannonballs, 50 cents, 60. So yeah, this is a little cheaper than I'm remembering. I remember the bomb pop was like, I think it was $1. And then there was some stuff that was like $1.50. And then there was stuff that was a little bit cheaper. That was like 50 cents. Maybe 75 cents. But nothing was 25 cents. I never saw anything come off a truck that was 25 cents. Taking me back.
It's like the whole point of the ice cream man was supposed to be that it was affordable for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids could go get their ice cream and not have to take a loan out from their fucking parents.
There you go, the Choco Taco. That's the bomb pop right there. Snow cone. I like those too, the strawberry with the soft stuff on the outside.
I like them, but you could never find them or any of the chocolate ones that weren't just like freezer burnt to shit.
Yeah. And there was one with a bubblegum thing in the bottom. It wasn't like the eyes or anything like that. It was like a cone, and in the bottom of it, you had a bubblegum ball.
Yeah, it was almost like a hard snow cone almost. It had a little creaminess to it, but not a lot. Yeah,
Maybe like this thing right here. What is this thing?
And when you got to that gum, it wasn't worth the dig.
Wow, there it is, the
there's
bomb
the bomb pop.
See,
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
crazy. Okay.
Oh, I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I remember them.
Chocolatey clear.
See, all that good humor stuff, that was in the rich people's neighborhood, apparently. We never had any of that
Yeah.
crap. Yeah.
The
There it is,
screwball.
screwball. That's
Yeah.
it. I knew it was slushed ice, and I hated the flavor even. I hated that cherry flavor, and
But I
hated
wanted
that
the bubble
once
gum.
you got to it. It was just I tried it one time, maybe two, and it was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done.
It's nothing like
I
those
remember-
character pops after they melt a little bit and then refreeze and they're all fucking deformed. That shit's great.
The only one I ever remember seeing was like a Pink Panther. That's the only one I... 250? You want 250? People are all insane. Wow. Take me back. What do we got going on in chat? What are they saying?
I don't know. I'm going back to see. Hang on.
Stop. Share.
Rico likes pralines and dick.
Oh, see, that also reminds me of the fact that there was this place called the Wagon Wheel downtown, and you got a dime, 10 cents from Mom. We each got our dime, and we took off walking, and it was about 3 miles or so, I guess, to town. And you got to town, you walked in and got in line, because there's always a line at the Wagon Wheel for those 10-cent ice cream cones. And you would get your cone, and it was the old school, like a little small trash can, flat on the bottom, not the sugar cone, but the old wafer cone. And they would put so much ice cream on top of that thing that it would almost fall over when they would hand it to you out the window. And you would eat it like the next 3 hours, and it would run down your hand and your arm, and you'd be sticky. Yeah, that was ice cream. That was so much better than that crap that they had down at the, and the only time they ever had an ice cream man, quote unquote, that we had access to was at the park where the Little League and the, Jungle Gyms and all that was. I am old, Mike. Old as fuck. 8 days older than dirt. How about this, Mike? I remember having to take turns with each other cranking the homemade ice cream machine at Grandma Butler's house. And if you didn't take your turn cranking, you didn't get any ice cream. You fucking A.
That's right. Nemo remembers the Flintstones orange sherbet push pops. So yeah, we had like orange push pops with some circles or something. I didn't get no Flintstones, nothing like that.
What Karen B fudgesicle? That was also a staple that but we kept those at home. Mom would buy those when we had them at the house. That was like a retreat for outside in the yard. That and
ice pops,
twin pops or whatever, where you break it in half, each stick on each half. Those with jam.
We had the ice pops, just a flavored water and a little plastic tube. Cut the end off. I had one of those at the roller ring Tuesday night. But this was like for adults. It was like a big one. I felt like I was 7 again, holding this ice pop, and it's like longer than my forearm, my arm, pretty much from tip of my fingers to my elbow. Just like, wow, this thing's enormous.
I was wondering what you said when it was meant for adults. What's it shaped like, you freak?
Wow, I was today years old when Sherry Ives taught me that the name good humor alluded to the 19th century belief that a person's humor or temperament was related to their sense of taste or the humor of the palate. Well, thank you, because I never found those pinstripe suits humorous or funny in the least. I never did understand those commercials, and they weren't funny, so I sure never understood why they called it good humor. They didn't have one.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I know my mom, one of her favorite sayings when, for me as a child, was you could piss off the good humor man. But
Right. Absolutely. Oh, I just remember another old thing that I can refer to that shows you fuckers how old I am. Does anyone remember the go-to being Howard Johnson's to go get ice cream?
I remember Howard Johnson's, but not for ice cream.
You don't remember it being like
That was
Howard
just-
Johnson's go-to ice cream? Let me see
No,
if
it was
I
only
stop
on a
doing
road
that
trip.
thing. Yeah.
Only on a road trip.
Well, that's usually when it was when we would, because my dad, like I was talking about the other day, my dad was in the oil field or in the Boilermaker field, and so we did a lot of traveling growing up when I was first being around the place. Howard
Was
Johnson.
that the town of Red Rock, Walter?
Cream.
Where you visited?
No, not. I'm maybe.
With all the people
What is
named
this?
Johnson?
Oh no. Anyway,
Were they building a railroad?
like I said, back in the day, that was the go-to, was Howard Johnson's. You stopped there because they had they were like the place that had so many flavors before Baskin Robbins did. What was it? 28 flavors maybe.
I don't
That's why
remember that.
Baskin
I
Robbins had to have
Baskin
31 because they were trying to beat Howard Johnson's. Oh look, I found a sign.
I know that I put something to share, like in chat. I even made presenting.
Oh, I just stole the share. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
I stole
did?
somebody's share. I did. I didn't know. I just clicked it on my little screen. Let me show the Howard Johnson sign real
You
quick.
show yours,
See,
and
ice
I'll
cream.
share next because I have
I'll
one.
show you. If I show you mine, will you show me yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
flavors.
Howard Johnson's go-to for the ice cream. Anyway, sorry, I didn't know. I was clicking. You see how you got the little small thing here to share? That's what I clicked. I didn't see that you were sharing. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
You have
okay,
it.
I
Now.
put mine
Your
up
turn.
and it up on
Show
the
me
screen.
yours.
I think I did. I said share. Am I sharing there, Josh?
Yes.
I got to go back to the call, the big call.
Why don't I
Oh,
see it?
nice.
Yeah, I see
Oh, I
it.
did see this story. In fact, I may even
Okay.
have dropped this story,
Okay, I might have to.
Tammy,
It's
and
not bringing
forgot to
it. I
mention
have
it
to do my
because you're
screen.
usually not
Yeah.
there with us in the morning, so I haven't. And then it
Yeah.
got buried in the pile. But yeah, I was crazy when I saw this.
Well, when you were saying you're older than dirt, I was going to say, well, because I'm like, quite a few years older than you, that makes me older than rocks. But then I just remembered that, look, diamonds are grown. Okay, Karen, I never went into the whole article. I saw the thing, but this is too precious to look at because Karen and I have been talking about this for years and years and years now. Diamonds grown at normal pressure in just 15 minutes.
No, that's
Scientists in
impossible.
South
Doesn't it
Korea
have to be
have
extreme pressures and crazy
no, because
temperatures?
remember how I told you how when we were doing that we were blowing them up and things were going really bad.
But
I told
doesn't
you,
it take millions of years?
and I said that we were
Tammy?
having yeah. Remember I said that we were doing things, but here diamonds are famously formed under high pressure and temperature, which by the way we loaded them a lot. Which not when I say we, I just mean that the guys, that laboratory dudes that I like, the nerds doing it. I really thought what they were doing was cool. Which is partly why they're so valuable. But now scientists have created diamonds in a lab under regular pressure in just 15 minutes. Why? Because when the conditions are right and the ingredients are there, they will grow. Diamonds are basically, I've not pre-read this, but we'll see what they say. Diamonds are basically just plain old carbon that's been put under immense pressure and temperature, causing the atoms to crystallize into a particular structure. No. They are not just plain old carbon that's been put under immense pressure and temperature any more than if you build a big tower of Legos, or not Legos, but Tinker Toys with the long strips. You cannot put that under pressure and have a smaller, more compact tower. That is what they're trying to say. Now, if you take a regular piece of plain old carbon and you put it under immense pressure and temperature, I can tell you what happens. You crush the living shit out of it. You ruin it. You destroy it. That's not how they grow. They actually grow into the structure. Crystallization is growing. And on Earth, the only place with the right natural conditions is deep in the mantle, hundreds of miles down.
And would you say diamonds are pretty rare, Cami? Not a perfect diamond, but diamonds.
With industrials and things like this, the rarity of diamonds, and when you're going to do a rarity of things and how often we find things in the world, so how rare they are. Diamonds, when we're talking about rarity, they're talking about how much Earth we have to destroy in order to get to them. So that might give you, in other words, they're using rare. You can use rare another way, but I'm going to say that, like when they say rare in the diamond business, like when you take how much dirt you have to move to get out different stones, sapphires or rubies, and find it, you pretty much have to, what is it, for each 1 carat diamond that they found that's of a quality that you'd want to use in jewelry, you've just moved 4 tons of
Well,
earth.
no, but I'm not talking about
jewelry. I am talking, we have diamonds.
No,
and we manufacture
I'm saying how rare are diamonds? It's not a rare gem.
I would say that there is some rarity, that it's not the easiest thing to go out and find, and you have to move Earth to find it. So there is a cost to it. But are there things that there's a lot less of out there? Bonita white, we have a lot of things that are rare that we have localized.
I mean, they tip tools with it, so it can't be that rare, is what I'm saying.
Right. That's what I'm saying is like when we put a rarity on it, you could say it's rare compared to quartz. It's extremely, extremely, extremely rare compared to quartz. It's
the first time I pulled up a stand of pipe that had a diamond bill drip. A diamond bill drip. You know what I'm trying to say? God damn it. Hit on the bottom of it. I said the same thing, Zack. Well, fuck, diamonds must not be as rare as we've been told because they're just throwing them in the ground and tearing them up down there.
Oh, as far as the drill bits and everything.
Ones that are rare. The perfect ones.
When you say perfect, you're talking about a lot of this stuff. When you look at it with your eye, it looks like it's speckled with pepper and cracked. That's industrial grade or port. I mean, the stuff is just like when you see a nice crystal of quartz compared to a quartz granite that's, again, all a mixture of it. The diamonds, you'll have a lot of the industrial grade out there. You can't cut and polish that into something like on a ring, but right now you can pop out something in 15 minutes that's going to be the exact same, which to me gives me more of the natural conditions. In other words, the natural growing conditions where it produces and doing, and produces that that is the natural growing conditions. When they say the natural, we need to go underground, they are lying. They just flat out said that when we try to reproduce what happens there, guess what we have when we try to put in 50,000 atmospheres of pressure, temperatures about 1,500. And they have, this is true right here. Scientists have been growing diamonds in lab for decades, but it usually still needs those extreme. No, we've learned the extreme conditions are 50,000 atmospheres and 1,500 degrees. We've been doing them under lower atmosphere for a while, and it's been years and years and years and years and years. Like when we started getting the ability to test it under that pressure, try to do it. I mean, they were doing it. They were having sunlight, but they were having a lot of destruction in a lot of not left on it. The new method developed from a team from Institute of Basic Science, and I'm even thinking lower technology or lower pressure might get better, synthesizes diamonds using gallium. We're talking about gallium in this. You get your ingredients. After 15 minutes, the gas is purged from the system in a diamond foam. So this is going to do a diamond foam, which is formed on the bottom. This can be detached easily and used in studies or put straight to work. So this is like a quick way of making it even for seed stuff. But again, we're growing it. And again, if it's growing under those conditions, a normal pressure, I would say that the normal pressure is more of a growing pressure than 50,000 atmospheres. I don't care how they lie to us. I think this is something at formation. That's something that, I think improved quickly, just like metals. Metals crystallize in well under a second. We don't even give them time to be unorganized. Nature grows and crystallizes. And when I say crystallize, I mean put it in a perfect geometric lattice system that will have properties and qualities to it. Things that, again, we have a hard time doing in laboratory. Nature does so efficiently. But that, I will close out the article and quit sharing the screen. How do I stop sharing? A different page if I am on the laptop. But yeah, rare is one of those words that you could say it's rare or not rare, and it depends on how you use it. Overall, again, if you compared it to something like benitoite, not rare at all. Or some of the other things that are, again, that we've found almost none of it. Or again, it has a location that can only be found one place that we found or that. But rare, the way they sell this rare, no. And they've never been honest about the way that they sell rarity in that of it. And the same with stockpiling. With stockpiling, as they build more equipment, they come up with the thing that's saying that, well, we have these diamonds stockpiled that cost us this much to mine, but now we have to go so much deeper, so we need to price them out because the new stuff we have is going to cost this much. It's a market.
Crazy. Now, what about as an investment? How do they hold up to like gold? Do they value more and more over time, or is it something that you can lose value if something like, say, you bump it or something?
Well, of course, if you bump it or destroy it or crack it, you 1,000,000% can lose value. And that's another fun thing. And the thing is, you say, oh, how could I break a diamond? It's the hardest thing out there. Again, it's just our marketing and our words. Hard only
scratch. You can't scratch a diamond, right?
Talks about what it takes to scratch a diamond. Diamond has perfect cleavage, meaning that the way it's organized, like you see it where people knock it makes a perfect break. Yeah, if you knock it on the right spot, it will want to cleave right along that plane. It has planes. You can, break a diamond quite easily and chip a diamond quite easily. But scratching is hard. Jade on the other hand.
So say you had a $20,000 perfect diamond, about what size that might be, and if you did get a chip in it, how much would that reduce the price of that diamond now, the worth of it?
Okay, let's do a theoretical on it. If you had a diamond that was cut ideally, cut to a good weight, and that it's cut for the well brilliance, and it just happened to weigh right over a carat, right on a carat. This one, if you get it, that one there, you might want to put away and not wear, because if you get, and it all will depend on how deep you chip it or mark it up for that. A lot of the times we do repairs and that the way we lose a point or two in weight. That's really common on doing like little repairs for little nicks and things like that. But if you are sitting at like 1.00 and even a little bit of a repair that takes a point away, it's going to take you down to 99. You've just got price categories. Because again, what you do when you do diamonds is you recut it to what it would be if it was cut correctly. What would it weigh? And they jump. The value jumps exponentially, like at a half carat, 3/4 carat, 90 points, 1 carat, 1.5 carats. So when you hit those magic markers where people will pay more to have it 1.5 carats or more to have it 2 carats, it's more dangerous to have like an internally flawless stone and wear it right at that, because you could knock it down into it. Where again, if you were wearing an internally flawless or a flawless stone and it weighed like 2.15, and you got, again, if you had chip, you have some weight to work with unless you chipped it in deep. But I mean, you'd have no, do you see what I'm saying as far as value? The value can change just with the start weight where it is. It gets complicated. It's not just a, oh, here's that answer. Most people with like internally flawless or flawless that are, you know, both internally and externally with no blemishes, most of those ones are not worn as jewelry. They're put away as investment grade, because if you take a flawless diamond that's marked FL or flawless, regular wear will put it into something called internally, meaning like you'll get little markings, and then on the outside it will take the external small, a tiny blemish, a little thing that could, the tiniest anything would take it out of the flawless category. So you would almost count on wearing it and knowing that if you wanted it to flawless again, you would need a polish, and usually you can polish without taking a point off. Again, a point is weight. If you weigh things down to, the thousandths of a carat or hundredths of a carat, if you're cutting it, wanting to be accurate on that, where again, does it weigh that 1.00 carat? Is it 1.00? What are your numbers after that to get it there? Is there any room to work with on polish? Because again, that could have some consideration.
Yeah, any wiggle room.
Mm-hmm. But again, until you start getting down the grade, like quite a ways where it seems like you're halfway down, like the clarity scale of what you're looking at. Like the first half of the clarity scale is stuff that's pretty much impossible to see with a loupe. The first half of the scale are things that you have to blow up a microscope to see the differences. And then at that point, you're just paying for rarity, not any type of look at all at that top end. Now that they're making all the synthetics and things, I don't know, I pulled out of the market. I've been out of it for some time, but I'm sure it's wreaking havoc with it. Because they're producing in a laboratory, again, the same, because they've done it with other stones and that, and so you always have people that want real ones. But telling the difference between the real and the lab grown is extremely, extremely difficult to do, and it makes it that it's not an easy travelable market like gold or that you would need papers, and not only would you need papers on your stone, but you'd need papers and somebody that's capable of verifying that those papers are exactly that stone. It doesn't make it for an easy cash transaction to walk in and I need money. It used to be with diamonds that, like during the Holocaust, you would trade diamonds or that for your papers, getting papers to get out. And no, they don't have that type of value anymore because and like gold, we have easy test, but the way to tell it apart and the way to separate it has gotten so sophisticated that you don't have an easy trade for cash anymore, that I would think that they would hold that value anymore. Because again, the level of sophistication with the fakes on the market have made it that it's not easily tradable unless you're expertise, unless you have it like extremely specialized. Not just a jeweler, but extremely specialized. It takes very specialized Jamalis on the synthetics. Not, again, your average person that works at a store, somebody that focuses on. So that has to have some bearing on the market, that it would take that level of expertise to tell again, still the real will have some of the fake, but some of the value to diamonds in the past were easily portable. You could put in your pocket. You could, it's worth something everywhere. And now you have a track record with papers and stuff. You have to prove and it's complicated now. But before in time, it always was like a good value to have and transport and easy and better than gold that you could transport a lot of value in a very, very little bit. Again, if you're fleeing for your life, how much gold can you carry? How much weight can you carry? You're fleeing for your life and your family. You don't know where you're going to sleep with diamonds, and that have had a good, through the ages, that's been the value to saving people's lives, and that's what it is the ability to stitch it into seams of clothes and, again, do it more stylish. Okay, anyone? I know it's like we went down a boring. Again, this is Josh's fault. You set a whiny level on the show, Josh. You said this is down. We have no energy. I'm keeping it down, man. Keeping it down.
Keeping it down.
Keeping it way down.
But yeah, I'm ready to call it if you guys are. What time do we start?
Oh, they left a long time ago.
They're gone. It's just me and you.
It's just me and you.
Babbling.
we bored Josh and Walt to tears. They have another show going on another channel. Boys, are you really gone? They really are.
They said, "Bunk this. I'm out."
Surprised me. I mean, I snuck out on some of it. You waited until I stepped out the door to say, "Cami, what flavor ice cream do you love?" So. Well, are you going to sing for us, Zack, or should we call it a night and say goodbye to them? Or I'm not quite sure what happened.
I don't know if I should sing.
Are we even live?
What'd I do?
He's back.
There he is.
I just step away for 2 minutes.
I think Walter fell asleep on us.
That sounds about right.
I bored us to death, Josh. I bored us to death. You set a down show, and I exceeded my expectations.
Lightning bugs are out.
Oh, yay. First of the season I've been looking for them. I knew they were coming. We've had no cicadas knock on.
That's your fault.
That's your fault.
That was a bad idea. It was a knock on the way, but it wasn't wood. And I'm like, what is it, this mache? Or I don't know what my dining room table is made out of. I don't know what I'm knocking on.
Boys assumed it was the door.
Well, why, yes, any excuse for that, you bet. I'm looking at the lightning bugs. Good night, everybody.
Night, Cam. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Walter. I saw he said be right back, but he's been back since then, I thought.
I don't know.
I'm feeling raindrops.
Do they keep falling on your head?
On my hand. I'm wearing a hat, so I don't really. And I'm sitting on the porch overhang. I just got my hand sticking out.
Well, that doesn't mean that your eyes will soon be turning red.
I
mean, something does, but not that.
I know something else that'll make my eyes turn red.
Crying's not for me. Hey, I'm never going to stop the rain by complaining. Name that artist, Josh.
You know, it was right on the tip of my tongue, even when the words were coming out of my mouth. I'm trying to remember who the fuck it is.
1978, I think, or 76. His first name is initials, like Honeycat.
I don't know that I'll get it.
Do you know who Honeycat was? What was Honeycat's initials on that?
No, but Walter should know.
B.J. Thomas?
BJ?
Uh-huh. I could have done other hints for that, but I thought Honeycat was a good one.
I came in late. I came in. Look, I'm here for the BJ.
All right.
Walter never misses a BJ.
What an exciting night it's been. Yeah.
I mean, only at ironrealmmedia can you go from ice creams to bleach. Never mind.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't say only here. I've been using that trick for a long time. Why do you think I used to give my wife ice cream before bed? Ice cream and ice cubes, baby. Works both ways. Not for nothing. Don't even get me started with. Never mind. We'll keep the illicit drugs out. We'll just stick with ice cream and ice cubes.
Oh, I watched a stupid movie today with Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Was he on a plane with snakes?
No, it's a new one. He was a detective hunting serial killer. And isn't he like in his 70s now?
Probably.
I mean, he is a good actor. Don't get me wrong. He's still really good at acting. But he's just, I don't know. He's not as young as he once was. And playing, I don't know. Seems like he's playing roles that are way younger than he should be playing. I'm not even sure if they even said the guy's age in there, but he was a working detective. So I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those I didn't know who done it. So it was pretty good in that respect. It wasn't so blatantly obvious that you knew who the bad guy was right from the get. Or even halfway through. Probably a good book, if you like that kind of stuff. I forget the name of it, even.
If you like written word on pages, then you might like that movie.
But yeah, it just seemed like he was, I don't know, not fit for the role. Kinda.
Like an 80-year-old president of the United States?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was like. But you could understand what he was saying.
Like an 80-year-old president of the United States with a little less dementia?
Mm-hmm. I reckon. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Pearl Jam on the brain.
Jesus. Dad says he's 75 years old.
Jeez. He's the most grossing actor in history. Like the movies he's been in, if you add up all the money that it's made, he's made more money than any other actor. Now that was, I don't know, a few years ago, so who knows? It could have changed the way millions have turned into billions and billions have turned into trillions and all the crazy shit, and bread's $5 a loaf. So, but yeah, if you want to make some money, just get Samuel L. Jackson in your movie and it's going to make money somehow. He's like a money magnet. He has been in some really big flicks, though, over time. And even had small roles in some of them. Django Unchained. He didn't have a very big role in that. Helped John Travolta make his comeback with Pulp Fiction. What was it that killed his career? Look Who's Talking 2?
Did you ever see Black Snake Moan?
No.
That was a pretty good movie as far as movies go.
I watched some new one with John Travolta in it about robbing a bank, and it was horrible. I think it was a Netflix movie.
Ocean 17?
It might have well has been called something like that. But it was just really bad. Like, he was the only real actor in it. I mean, the other people I had seen, but they had always had, like, roles where they may have said one or two lines. You know, they're those type of actors. You see them in a lot of movies, but they don't really say shit. They're, like, in the background, you know, and they get hurt or something during the movie or whatnot, and that's, like, or something like that. But it's never, like, they're even part of the main cast. They're, like, the backups that are just in a lot of movies. And those are, like, your main characters in this one. It wasn't like they had one backup. It was like 3 backups, 2 people you'd never seen before, and John Travolta. And the story was just dumb. It was just dumb, the way it all went down and worked out.
How old do you reckon he is? Late
God,
60s?
he's got to be 70s. I mean, Saturday Night Fever was what? In the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Carter. What? Why? Where?
I worked really hard on my hair. And you hit it. You hit my hair. That's like the only line, anything I remember from that movie. And I think I probably saw that in a YouTube video just when I looked it up. That was one of those movies that never grabbed my attention.
70. He's only 70. He's not that old.
He looks good for 70. He's finally... I saw him bald, like, on a talk show. It's like, finally, John. You've only been bald for, like, 30 some odd years.
Since the 70s?
Yeah.
My hair.
Since that guy hit his hair. That's when it all fell out. No, but yeah, it's nice to see him, you know, accept it and openly be like, hey, I'm bald. Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw a picture of him, like, out on the street or something like that, when one of his children was going through something traumatic where he didn't care what he looked like out in public, and he was, you know, like, rushing somewhere. And I was like, whoa, John Travolta's bald. I had no idea. Remember when Bruce Willis had hair? What was that show called? Moonlighting?
Mm-hmm.
And he played a couple characters where he had hair after that. What was the one where he was the assassin? He's been an assassin in a few movies, but it had Richard Gere in it. I'm pretty sure it was Richard Gere. The Jackal. Remember that one? No? Oh,
Vaguely.
Great movie where Bruce Willis is the bad guy. Great movie. Yeah, he's a good evil. He does a good evil character. You don't think of Bruce Willis as being the bad guy too much. You ever see the Lucky Number 11, where he's the hitman?
Yes. Been a hot minute since I've seen it, but I remember.
Yeah, he did good in that one too.
That I enjoyed. Yeah. I was actually just getting ready to wrap up, Trav.
I was just about to ask, are we going to end this thing soon? Because it's been a couple of hours now.
Yep.
Almost pushing tree.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, it really is. I didn't think I hadn't even looked at the clock. I just know it's been a few. Because Bender's now in here aggravating me yet again, even though I bet him at 6:15. So it's time to play. So I knew it had to be a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Take a couple of these.
And I got to go down and see my mom tomorrow. So that's going to be...
That's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emotionally
You guys
draining.
have a safe trip. And that was what I was going to say next. Have a safe trip, physically and emotionally.
I will do my best.
Yep.
And I will be live tomorrow at noon over on Nachiketa's channel.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow is the big day. Why did I think you were Sunday? Josh is Sunday.
I'm Sunday.
Sunday.
I caught a little bit of Mike this morning on my way, or I guess it was right at afternoon or whatever. Right as I was about to take a nap, I watched it as I was going to sleep. And it was cool.
Yeah, I was in there for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought also Zack was Sunday, because Zack was, so you have quite the on-air personality if you did Monday. What days aren't you doing? Because he is doing Sunday for Globebusters.
Dude's all over
did
the place.
Did yesterday for Globebuster. Again, how many Iron Realms and Globebusters? So did you get any days off this week at all, Zack?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. There you have it. Happy Tuesday, Zack. Hope it was good.
Thank God it's Tuesday. All right, let's call it.
Love y'all.
Love you guys.
Yes, thank y'all for putting up with our reminiscing. It was good. Thank you.
Eating some member berries.
Yeah, it was fun. I really had fun. Thank you.
Good night, y'all. But I am glad it's over.
Love you later.
Love you guys too.
And thank you guys for hanging out. Always appreciate your presence there in chat. And I do believe we should be back here next week. I don't see why not. Hopefully with somebody to hang out and talk with. Otherwise, we'll figure something out. Until then, don't forget to catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, kicking off at 4 a.m. Central. Whew. But of course, this weekend, it'll be 10 a.m. Central for Zack. And 10:30 Central on Sunday for myself on Nachiketa's channel. I do believe is how that works out.
11 Central for me.
You guys ought to drop those links that I know Natch is giving y'all by now. Dude, he is on his game.
2 hours instead of 1. He is on his game.
He had me linked in. He was playing stuff off my channel for me and stuff. I was going like, damn, go ahead. I'm going to start taking notes.
Yeah,
man, he's firing it up over there. It was a blast, and I can't wait to go back. And I can't wait to hang out with you guys over there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've done my own personal thing here on our channel, and I've been interviewed once or twice. Sort of beyond just being a flat earther.
Yeah.
But I think this one should get deep, I hope.
It definitely can. It did with me. I went places I never expected to go. So yeah, it was cool.
Nachiketa Freud. All right then, guys. Have yourselves a great weekend. For those here in the U.S., it'll be a 3-day weekend for a lot of us. So
that's true. It's that big weekend.
We can probably do a little bit of shoot stings on Monday morning, provided everything goes copacetically.
That'll work. Cool.
Because I ain't got to go to work that day.
All right. Nice. I know Liz has been jonesing. Get it.
Love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be good. Be well.
Love y'all.
Do good. Do it well.